18 innings. What pain that game was. 6.5 hours. And now it's finally done. And the Jays lose. Because of course, why can't they win? And why can't they, like... I did say this was going to go to Game 7, don't get me wrong, but... Bleh! Especially with that BS pitch call in the second inning where Bichette gets tagged out because he thought that the pitch was a ball to Varsho when Varsho should have walked. And yeah, so then Bichette is jogging the second, and then he gets tagged out in that. And therefore, with the other stuff that happened in the inning, that would have been a run. It would have been 6-5 going into the bottom of the ninth. And wouldn't have had a problem. Wouldn't have had a problem! But no! Just frustrating, when you know that the Jays should have won that because of that specific call. There were some other ones too, but that was the most egregious one. And yeah, so anyways. But what's kind of cool is that I just dropped new merch. If you actually check out my my community tab here on the YouTubes, I dropped... So I've been doing a lot more cartoony stuff as of late, but I decided to do a different one. I picked a picture that I took of when I still owned the Poltermerc, which is, the 81 Mercury Capri. I actually have a playlist on here if you want to check out those videos. And Stitch, and I had them facing each other, like this. And the shirt basically, it has my logo at the top, and then it goes to the Capri. It says classy, and then race underneath Stitch. And it just says which one would you choose, then it has my socials on it, right, for my social media handles. And, I like the design, to be honest. It's just kind of funny that I don't have any of my own designs of shirts. As of, I have my own designs, is what I'm getting at. I don't own any of my own merch yet. A couple of you guys have my own merch, but I don't yet. So, if you guys want to go buy some more, that'd be cool. But yeah, so that's my Teespring, and actually, if you check out in the description below, you'll actually see a link to Teespring and some of the other sponsorships of the channel as well, and discount codes and stuff like that. So go check that out. I'm still working on getting the truck fixed. I meant to get that done today, and then I didn't, and then now I'm in a little bit of a tricky spot because I gotta think of how I want to do this with the floors being installed, because I was going to install them with self-tappers, but then I looked at my bank account and realized, oh shit, I don't have any money to go buy self-tappers. So I might just have to actually cut it out and try and weld in that myself. Weld in the floors myself. Which is not going to look pretty. And it's not going to be the best because, well, I don't have the rockers on either side, so it's not going to be a full seal. But we'll figure that out. And what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to see if any of my buddies might have some extra carpet lying around, and seeing if I could get carpets off of them so that I can cover up some of that and go from there. So I don't know, we'll see. And you have a question, I might have an answer. How's it going? But yeah, and then I'm still on the hunt for... I need to find 1 or 2 more Carter YFA carburetors for my tri-power intake and head setup that's in the trunk of Stitch right now. And then I also got to get that head checked out and make sure it's all sort of on the up and up. Make sure that's not warped or anything like that. Make sure the valves seal, all that different jazz. But then, what I'm going to do, to be honest, is I'm actually going to get my buddy to do a valve job on it. And I'll get him to probably replace the valve seals and stuff like that, too, because I have brand new valve seals for it, so may as well do that. But the only thing is I'd have to contact Roy and see when he's available to do that, and then once he does that, you know, we can go from there. So that'll be pretty exciting that way. And I'll get to learn kind of how that sort of stuff is done, because we'll, like, film it on my channel as well, so you guys will have that video. But there is the floors in the truck video, which I still need to finish that video and then edit it all together and upload the damn thing. I haven't posted very many videos for you guys this month, and I apologize for that. It's just I have not been in the perfect mindset for it, so... And it also sucks for me, too, because it actually does affect me financially. I'm not going to get a YouTube paycheck next month. Which, granted, it's not a lot of money, but it's not the point. I don't make a lot of money in the wintertime, so that extra, you know, $100 I would have gotten, I'm not going to get, so... Which sucks. But it is what it is, you know. And we'll figure it out, not a big deal. And especially since, well... money is, like, super tight for shit at the moment, so, yeah. But, oh well. I might just have to say screw it, though, with the floor pans. And instead of using self-tapping, you know, bolts or screws, or it'd be self-tapping bolts, I might just have to use regular sort of style bolts with it and just put nuts on the backside, which would be really dumb, but, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. Because I've got some stuff around here. I'll have to go through all my nuts and bolts and stuff, or unless if, I mean, I might ask my neighbor and see if he's got any self-tappers, to be honest. It'd make my life so much easier to install those floorboards for now, that way. Because otherwise I'm going to be welding, which I don't mind welding, it's just I don't want to weld them in when I haven't cut the whole floor out yet. Right, so, I don't know, we'll see, we'll see. But yeah, other than that, there isn't, like, a ton else going on. Although, something actually, I was chatting with a buddy of mine, his name is Tanner, great guy, honestly, and me and him just kind of, like, joke around and have fun. We actually met each other through TikTok, and, you know, we're just friends now. He is kind of downsizing a lot of his, like, parts and his vehicles and stuff like that, and whatever else, because he just moved, and, well, he is actually going to potentially be bringing me a T56 manual transmission, which would be damn cool. And, you know, which is just freaking awesome, honestly, if that happens. Now, the thing is that I'd have to figure out is, okay, so I'd have to talk to my, I have to talk to, like, my fabricating friends and see, you know, if it's even viable or not, to be able to adapt, because the problem is with the T56, right? T56s, have a couple of issues. Well, I mean, there's a couple of issues with them. It's nothing that's actually, like, bad with the transmission at all. Actually, T56 is a fantastic transmission and everything. It's 6-speed, wonderful, all that different stuff. But adapting it to my straight 6 because of one big issue. And what is that big issue, you might ask? Well, it is screwing around with the integrated bell housing. And it's set up for a small block Ford, which, good, honestly, motors, obviously, like, fantastic, but the issue I'm going to have is, well, my bell housing pattern is nowhere near a small block Ford. So I'd have to see, and I'd have to talk to some of my fabricating peoples, and just to figure out of, okay, you know, how do we make this work? That way, do I get them to try and adapt it to fit my my current engine, or do I get a different 200 inline six, one with the low mount starter like I had in my '82 Mustang that I owned, and use that? And if I do that, it'd be easier. I would just need to get the hydraulic clutch kit, you know, for the Fox body, which I don't know how much that would cost, but I'd figure that out and go from there. But like, because my buddy has one, to be honest, he has an '82 Fairmont with that low mount starter, bell housing, and what I'm willing to potentially offer him, because I know it's actually it seems like a good motor. We need to like do. I'd ask him to if we can do a leak down test on it, and if we can do a compression test on it, just to make sure. I've never driven it myself, but yeah, and then if I could nab that engine off of him, I would give him the engine in stitch, and I'd even give him the T5, which you can never have too many T5s flying around, to be honest. He's got a couple, but still, they're nice to have. And, like, is it a better gear ratio on the TV6? So here's the thing. TVD6s, they are a 6-speed, not a 5-speed. And actually, I need to look at the gear ratios exactly of a T56, because I can't remember off the top. But I know, like, depending on the TV6, they can have different transmission, and then all I want is gear ratios. There we go. There we go. So depending, they can have a 266, a 178, a 130, a 1-to-1, a 0.80, and a 0.63. There's also a 297, 210, 146, 1, 0.80, and 0.63. Then, depending, they can also have a 0.50 overdrive for a 6th as well. And then they can actually have a 331st gear, depending, too. So, the downside to a T56, which is only one, it's the weight. Because it actually would weigh about 100 pounds more than my T5. Beyond that, no other real issues there. Now, BMW or Mercedes, I would prefer, actually, Mercedes. I think they look better, and especially some of the older diesels and stuff like that I like a lot. I love Mercedes design throughout the 70s and 80s, and even into the 90s. Now, BMW is sweet, absolutely, but depending on the BMWs, because like I said, I wouldn't touch a newer BMW. I don't like the look of them that much. But yeah. And yeah, I am up late, because I just watched the World Series, Game 3. So it just ended like 20 minutes ago. And yeah, excuse me. And yeah, it's just frustrating, honestly. So, but it's how it goes, right? So yeah, like we'll see, honestly, with how everything goes with the cars and stuff, because I don't really know right now how everything's going to stack up, but it'll be pretty awesome when it actually all works out. But then I also thought about if like Keith would be cool with it, and it just depends on what he wants to do. I'd have to talk to him, like I said. Is with my engine, like if I can keep the T5, that'd be great, but I don't know. We'll see. Why did that just go off now? I mean, I did that like freaking a half hour ago. Whatever. Sorry. I just also made new merch for the website, so and now my other phone is going off to say, "Hey, it's live." It's like, yeah, I know it's live. I got the email on my computer way earlier than I'm on this phone, I guess. And I even got the email on this phone too. So, whatever. Not a big deal. But yeah, so that is kind of one of those deals. And yeah, there's not really much else to really talk about that way. But then also, what's kind of interesting, I got sent a friend of mine sent me an engine for sale. It's 200. It's set up very similarly to how mine's going to be set up. The only difference is I think he's going to be a little. I think that's a little higher compression than what I'm going to have, because he said that the compression in that motor is 10-1, where I'm probably going to be like 9.4-1, something like that's a little lower compression, and I'll probably have a different cam in my engine than what it has. But the thing is, with that cam, because I still need to try and pull the cam out of my built engine that I've got. It's cracked block, so I'm not gonna bother with the block. But you know, the engine itself, well, that'll be a little different. And then when that's all done, I need to actually scrap all the parts that I'm not going to keep. So the stuff that I've kept is the connecting rods, with the caps and everything, and they are numbered, so they are kind of together. I've kept the lifters out of that motor, and I've kept the push rods, and then the head and the rocker arms. That's all I've kept, as well as the rocker shaft. But like I said, I still need to pull the cam out and see if it's actually a aftermarket cam or not, because he claims it was, but I don't know. Because otherwise, I probably won't even bother with the with that camshaft if it's just like a stock cam. And I love the when people say that. Are you female or male? No disrespect. Well, there is a lot of disrespect with that, because how would you feel if somebody went up to you and went, "Hey, do you got a penis or a vagina?" Like, you know, it's like the most disrespectful thing you can say to somebody. Like, genuinely, because how would you feel if somebody went up to you and like, "Hey, what do you got in your pants? Do you have a penis or a vagina?" Like, genuinely, that's pretty much what you're saying there, dude. But also, like, there are people that might be, as an example, like, I'm not transgender, I was born a woman, and all that different stuff. But there are people that, as an example, might be transitioning where they would be potentially upset or offended when somebody says something like that. Plus, also, look at the name of my channel. It's Katarina's Garage. Hi, my name is Katarina. You know, like, I'm just saying, like, it's a better way to ask if you're not sure, right, of somebody, because I do understand to a certain degree that I have more masculine features and my voice is a little bit deeper than most women. I totally understand that. Is just to ask what somebody's pronouns are, right? Because that is something that obviously can change whatever else, and that's fine, especially for people that are like two-spirit or whatever, right? So yeah, people say that. I've never met a male Katarina. I've only ever met other women that have my name. And hiya, Kevin. How goes it? But yeah, like I've never met anybody with that, and that's kind of interesting. But fair enough, I suppose. Yeah, oh, exactly. It's one of those things. Now, and see, and what did you find that was offensive to what I said? Because I'm much confused by that. Because I didn't think I said anything that would have been offensive at all with that. I mean, and a lot of the times, actually, Kevin, that is true. To be honest, like 9 times out of 10, that is the case, and they're trying to get like attention that way. It's not always, but I do find that a lot, especially if I'm on like TikTok. A lot of people are a lot more rude on TikTok, but also there is a thing where my audience on TikTok is actually a lot younger than here on YouTube. So, yeah. And Jesus. See now, yeah, there was nothing offensive to what I said at all. There's not. Like I said, I've never met anybody that was a male that was named Katarina. You know, because like that's my name, and that's actually how you say it. Because my name has very much like Swedish slash Russian sort of connotations to it. Exactly, right? Like Katarina is not a male name. I've never met a single male with it. Like the only female name that I've seen with a male um is like Ashley, which again, that one's still very weird, right? Very weird to me. To I've met one guy named Ashley, and it weirded me out because I'm like, huh? Wait, what? What? So yeah, but it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of funny though with this stuff and with what people say. And he goes by Cat, which like people call me Cat. That's just because like here's the thing. I much prefer people call me Katarina or Katarina as opposed to Cat, but I really don't care because most people butcher my name. They call me Katrina all the time. They forget the extra A. It's kind of funny. You know a guy named Cat? Does that count? Well, it depends. Did he have a tail and fur and with whiskers? Oh fuck. Oh, yeah, I have lots of stuff I'm gonna try and do over the winter. You know, like as an example, like the head as an example on Stitch, I want to get that on. Um, I'm still trying to put the floors in my truck. I still need to cut out the recorders in my Capri and get them welded into Stitch. I also need to get up to Edmonton one of these times to actually fix or to do some maintenance on the dyno trailer. There's a lot more shit, honestly, to do, and you know, I also got to oversee some of the other stuff with the dyno. There's a lot with the business to consider, so we're working it out though. I don't know. I'm assuming this dupes person is just a troll, to be honest. Like, anyway, Amanda, are you saying you live in Edmonton? Because it's kind of funny. Like, I'm in Edmonton a lot. And technically, actually, I need to not technically go to Edmonton. Well, go to Edmonton to cut the recorders out of my Capri, and then I need to go to Devon to actually do the maintenance on the dyno trailer. So yeah, and yes, I am in Alberta. Um, you know, I live in Sundre, Alberta. You know, it's if you don't know where that is, it's right by Olds. So yeah, so you'll see me around at some point. I'm sure of it. And also, I got a kitty. Hi, buddy. Mwah. Ah, we got BC in the chat. Cool, cool. I haven't been to BC in a hot minute. I mean, I don't know. You've been acting a little bit like one. Yeah, hang on. If you want to see his face, hang on. There he is. So, fun fact: this cat is actually older than the average age of my TikTok audience. So he is 27 years old for reference. Um, the average age of my TikTok audience is between the ages of 18 to 25. So it's kind of funny. I mean, you could, honestly. And there's, depending on where you go, there's lots of gold to be found. It can get really effing cold up there, yep. And it can get cold in Alberta, too. Like, absolutely. 114 in dog years. See, I don't know what that equates to. Like, because Saber is 27 in human years, which is like about 120 in cat years, give or take. But I know dog years have more of a jump than cat years do. So, like, that dog would be what, like 19 or 20 would be my guess, which is a really old dog. That's 7 years? Holy shit. I thought that would have been older than that, but fair enough. I mean, dogs don't live as long, though, to be fair. So there's that. Okay, plus 70 each year for a dog. Okay, okay. I just don't know, like, for the first, year or whatever else, how big of a jump it is. Because I know, like, from, like, puppy to, 1 year old, it's almost like a 10-year jump or something like that. And then, yeah. Well, I mean, I got Saber there, which you guys saw. He's 27. And then I have Rascal, who is 18. So, he's a silly little boy. Hey, Rascal. Hi, buddy. Hi, sir. So you can legally drink. Not that you like alcohol, though. You don't like it, and nor do you, actually. A 17-year-old pom-pom. Cute little dogs. Cute little puppy dogs. Hey, Saber. They're cute little puppy dogs. And I'm gonna poke you in the face. Poke, 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 poke the kitty in the head. To be honest, Saber, like, what he likes a lot, actually, like, his favorite food is honeyed ham. He goes feral for it. Rascal the same way. He loves honeyed ham too. Now I don't get honeyed ham like hardly at all, to be honest. Just because like here in town it's so expensive to go buy. Um, like and I could probably get some in like Olds, but it's still pricey. So instead, what they get a lot of the time is whenever I get fast food, which is more often than I should get fast food, but regardless, is I usually get them a little burger patty as well. So, and I just, split it in half and then give them half of the burger patty each. And I love it, honestly. But I make sure there's like nothing on it for them. Whether it's McDonald's or A&W or Dairy Queen, because those are the only three that we have in town, to be fair. And like the most I'm willing to spend is $2 on for a treat for them, because any more than that, it's like, no, that's a bit too much for you guys. So sometimes they don't get stuff. Like, as an example, when I go order stuff from the bar, I don't get like an extra patty for them because that'd be way too expensive. Oh yeah, I mean, stuff can be very pricey nowadays. So absolutely, and like the economy is like down the toilet and stuff, and that's how it goes. And then also like something I gotta do in Stitch, oddly enough. I actually have to replace the alternator belt in Stitch, which sucks. I might be able to get away with just tightening it, but I don't know. It's a frustrating thing because it's almost impossible to get that belt tight. And it's just annoying as shit. Oh, okay, there we go. That's why that one wasn't working. Hang on. Oh, got a bunch of comments here. Hang on. The short gray-haired cat I got is about 14 years old. She got a turkey dinner, napping on a shelf of blankets in a 34-degree-Celsius room. Why is it 34 degrees Celsius in one of your rooms in your house? Jesus, that is fucking hot. Yeah, I don't like to have the heat up that much. Holy shit. She put up pans of food. This one cat would lay in the grass and watch the birds come down and eat it, then pounce and catch birds and eat them. Nice. That's fun. No, there's no snow here. We had snow a few weeks ago, and that is all melted because it's been like plus 15, plus 18, plus 20, plus 9, for like 3 weeks now. It's been great. Well, I'm not going to be trying to like embed catnip into their burger patties that I get them. That would just be annoying. And also, like the one thing is, so Rascal, his nickname is Rascal the Asshole, and if he gets catnip, he just wants to like attack Saber, and Saber doesn't really want to play with him. So yeah, hey Saber. Because you don't really like to play with him. Not very much. You're just a cranky old man at times when it comes to that sort of thing. He'll play with me, though. Yeah, I know that it's been getting a little cooler up in Edmonton. It's been dipping a bit in temperature here, but not a lot. So I have just been like I haven't really been doing too much outside, although I had to do a little bit. And then now the tricky thing is they're finally sealing up that burnt up husk of a house next door, which is about time, to be honest, because that's like super carcinogenic and shit. And yeah, so if they're doing that, it's gonna be tricky for me to work on my truck, but I'll figure it out. It's not a big deal. Brutal. Because yeah, like I don't have a furnace room. I just have a furnace that's in a little closet in the hallway, and it works. Like it warmed up the house and everything, but it's not that hot around it, to be fair. I have a 76 Ford F250, and actually, if the green screen will work here, I can bring it up on here. Let's see. Come on. It's just taking forever to load, so give it a second. Or maybe more than a second. Come on. So one thing I hate about the green screen on YouTube, it just takes forever to actually do anything and to load. Okay, not any of those. There we go. I got it up. So yeah, like that is my 76 F250, and this is my 81 Mustang. And like right now, like I said, I'm in the middle of putting floor pans in the truck, so not too bad, honestly. Just annoying to do, to be honest, because I still need to like cut the floors out and then weld in the floors as best I can. I won't be able to weld it in completely though. So, just because there's not really much for rockers in my truck. So I can't fully weld all the way around it. So yeah. Figure it out. It's not a big deal. But yeah, so and like the truck I want to do some upgrades to, and something I thought about as well, because I have that tri-power intake. and head for stitch here. So I might end up using the adapter and the 2-barrel on the truck and then robbing the Carter YFA off of that, and then I'd only need one more Carter YFA to put on my new head. And then the fun part will be to try and synchronize all that shit, which, like, my buddy Roy Markle is like going to be my best friend when it comes to that. Could lead braze patches in easier than welding? It's not really. I wouldn't call that easier than welding. Welding is not hard. It's really not. Like, the thing is, I absolutely like welding and everything like that. It's not that difficult for me to do it. The only thing is, I'd just be flux coring it, so flux coring is obviously not the best, but it'll work out. Practice on welding some fenders to lengthen them? Huh? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Spank. Because again, like, I've done welding in Stitch multiple times. In fact, you can actually see some of the welding I've done here on the channel. You'd have to scroll down a little bit, but I welded my seat mount back together, as an example. And actually, that's the only welding I've technically done on the car, but, you know. It's already past the safety, it's fine. Like, that's the thing. And also, we don't have, like, yearly safeties here. It's just one and done. Oh, I'm not putting a 300 in Stitch. That's not happening. You already know this. Because here's the thing. A 300 will technically fit in Stitch. Not easily, but you can make it fit. You just have to move your radiator forward. But you don't have to lengthen your fenders, though. That's not... No. I don't know where you heard that, but no, you don't have to do that. Just when I sell it? I mean, who knows? I might not sell it. But also, like, a lot of the people that are going to buy it are just going to use it as what its intended purpose is. It's just like a work truck that it's okay for the condition that it's in. And I'm not a welder by trade, but I know how to weld. Like, it's not... Depending on the type of welding, though, like, there is welding that is difficult. Like, I've never, as an example, TIG welded, and I can't weld up exhaust very well. But I can do welding that's, like, with thicker materials and stuff like that. It's not that hard. That is just complicated, Spank. Very complicated to do that. To run multiple radiators. Like, I wouldn't do that, honestly. People buy it and get enough condition, except for I don't want to sell it. Like, that's the difference. And technically, I have people beating down my door to buy my truck all the time, even in the condition that it's in. And again, but like I said, Spank, I'm not putting a 300 in my car. You already know this. I'm keeping the 200 in it. Because putting a 300 in my car is just stupid. It defeats the purpose of having a straight 6. Like, it really does. Completely. Silly people. But, well, again, like, dude, my truck's not for sale. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, if somebody offered me the right amount of money, I'd consider it. But she's not, like, listed for sale, dude. Again, like, if you want it, throw it an offer. Because I'm not actually actively selling the truck. Because I don't want to sell it. Like, that's the thing. The truck is a content mine for me. Again, throw me an offer and I'll tell you if that's good enough or not. And I can tell you every single thing that's wrong with my truck. I don't have a functional stereo in the truck right now. There isn't much wiring for said stereo. I also don't... let's see. The exhaust manifold is cracked. It's a 306. And you already know I'm not gonna put an LS in my Mustang. Like, no. The rockers are gone. The bed is gone. Like, box sides and bed floor is gone. The doors are bad. And the one fender's bad, but I do have a fender to put on it. Which I should do fairly soon here, too. But yeah, like, and it's a 300 inline 6 with an NP 435 4-speed and a Dana 60 with 373s on a limited slip. She's got 2-year-old, I think it's 2 or 3-year-old, BFG all-terrains that are 31.6 inches tall, 265 wide. So, yeah. Like I said, I like the truck. I do. And it's one of these things now, and like, does it need a decent bit of work? Yeah, but like, she runs and drives just fine, you know. So, the best I've gotten is 19.5 miles to the gallon. What? I don't know why anybody in the chat would have said that, but okay. You need 2 axles and 2 new front tires, and you will perform stunt. Oh, what stunts are you wanting to pull? But yeah, and that's one of those things, though. Like, the truck comes in handy to have around. Like, but the thing is, like, if somebody genuinely plopped $3,500 in my hand, they could have my truck. Is it worth $3,500? No. But if somebody gave me that, I would say yes. Okay, Saber, come here. Yeah. There we go. Hi, Rascal. What you doing, bud? And then I just need to move that back up there. No, just stay. Just stay. Just, there you go. Flop over like that. Perfect. Perfect, kitty. You're not offering $7,500 for my truck. I call bullshit on that. Because here's the thing. If you were actually offering that, you'd be nuts too. Because you can get a nice one of these for, like, that. Now, see, $1, you drive a hard bargain. Oh, I would take $7,500 if that was a real offer, but I know it's not. Like, there's no way that's a real offer, because it's not worth anywhere near that. Like, at all. Like, it's really not. I mean, yeah, other than it having a V8 rat in it. You know, like, it has a V8 rad, so it doesn't really have issues with, like, overheating at all. The gas gauge also doesn't work in it either. So, yeah. It doesn't have... For one, I'm in Alberta, we don't have rats. Second, well, no nests in it at all. I've cleaned out all the, like, mouse nests and stuff like that. So, yeah. But again, we're not... What are you looking at? A 76 F250 and an 81 Mustang with an 84 Capri RS front end on it. That's what you're looking at. And why does this person keep going up in their number? Because, like, again, I know you're not serious at all. Like, you're not. Yeah, it's numbers matching in the truck, yeah. You know, the only thing that wouldn't match technically is the carburetor. But technically, if you want the original carburetor, I have it. But it has a Carter YFA off of, I think, a 75. So, on it currently. Hey, Saber, why are you being a shithead? Just lay down. Lay down and stay laying down. And stop making me grab you so I can, stay here. And again, you're not Mr. Beast. You're just trolling. Hey, Kelly! How's it going? Nice to see you. It's been a minute. Mwah. But yeah, right now I just have somebody trolling, offering me money for the truck when it's bullshit. Because I know they're not actually offering me that kind of money, so. Oh yeah, like, because here's the thing. It's very rare to find an NP435 in one of these trucks. Because a lot of them actually had T18s. The Dana 60, that's pretty common. But having a limited slip is actually very rare. So there is stuff that's worth money in it, but like I said, I'm not parting it out. I'm gonna use the truck as a truck. I'm going to somewhat rebuild the bed, and I actually have an idea to do it. I have kind of a weird idea to do it, but it's my plan. So, my truck has almost no bed floor in it whatsoever. And I had the idea of putting a wooden bed floor in the truck, but with a twist. The video would basically be titled as how to build a bed floor for your truck for $20. Right? That's what I'm going to title the video as. And what I'm going to actually utilize is pallets from, like just straight up wooden pallets. And then rob the wood out of those and make my own wood bed floor. Again, no, I'm not doing that, Spank. I actually want it to look half decent. Like that's the thing. Even though the truck is like a rusty turd, I want it to look decent with the accent pieces I put in it and stuff. Like, and who knows? I might even say screw it and just get rid of the bed altogether, and then use if my brain work here. Come on, brain. Brain. And just make myself a full-on wooden bed with like stick sides and all that stuff. I've thought about it. Oh, you ordered from the website? Cool. Now, Kelly, here, because I do actually have, like, it's shown me who's ordered what, but it doesn't show the colors. Which one did you order? And because I'm curious, like, because I've had 3 people order so far, on my website. And what's funny is that I don't even have my own merch. It's available, but I don't have any of it because I can't afford to. Come on. Load. Thank you. Let's see here. And no, Okay, so you got one of the large logo ones. In purple, I guess. Alright, cool. Yeah, either that. Yeah, so the large logo. So you either got okay, cool. Yeah, because so far, like I can tell you of everything that has sold on my website so far, which again hasn't been much. I only have 5 total things sold. I have 2 classic heavy t-shirts were sold. I have 1 classic crew neck t-shirt sold, and then I have a couple of die cut stickers that have been sold. So yeah, and okay, my cats are begging me for food right now, so I gotta go feed them really quick. I'll be right back, but it won't take me long because their food dish is like just right over there. So give me one moment here. You'll still be able to hear me, like talk to my cats and stuff like that, because it's just right over there. Like I promise. Okay, boys, come here. Fuck, you guys still have food. You silly cats. Look, see? See? Now look how much food there is, Saber. Ton of food there, and even look, right here. And then here. And I can actually put half of that and a little more into there. There you go, rascal. There you go. See? There's food in there. And, okay, Saber, I showed you that you had food, but now you're just walking away? Okay, fine. That is fine. Meanwhile, and I'm grabbing myself a couple of Girl Scout cookies. There we go. I am back. What? Arden, no, that's not true at all. Don't fall for the AI fucking videos of Carney telling you, like, it's genuinely marked as AI. Like, ugh. I seriously hate when people fall for that shit. Because, like, there was an AI video of Mark Carney saying that, oh, they're going to ban vehicles that are pre the year 2000. And it's like, it was before Sora was even a thing. This was a few months ago. Because Sora just launched, like, what, about a month ago? This was actually, like, just somebody just made it out of AI in general. And it was just so stupid. Honestly, like, so stupid. And you got two heavy ones in the crew neck, and also a sticker that you'll mod into a fridge magnet. Ah, okay, cool. Well, and it's kind of funny because you bought probably one of my more worst designs that because I was trying to figure out how I want to do my designs, and it took me a while to figure out like how to edit and shit like that. So yeah. But again, I don't honestly know what AI software they used for it. I have no idea. But like, who knows? They could have like. There's lots of AI software that does videos. To be honest, like Sora is the only one that actually like is flagged as Sora that way. Like it's flagged as their own, right? So yeah, like I'm not a big fan of AI, even though yes, I do use a little bit of AI. Like when I'm making some of my t-shirt designs, I actually do use some AI. And that's only to if you guys see any of the cartoon styles of the pictures, that is AI. The rest though is just pictures of my cars. So, but honestly, that'll be really cool to see that fridge magnet design. That'll be pretty swank. Because yeah, that's the sad part. Like, well, hey, that'll be cool. So yeah, so you're essentially one of the people that have ordered the most. So, which is awesome. And yeah, and I'm always adding new designs. Like case in point, um, I've been adding new designs almost every day, just about since I launched the website. I have like 14 designs now. I think 14 or 15. But actually, let me look. How many designs do I actually have? And oh, you're excited for 2026? What's going on in 2026? Okay, listings. There we go. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's only 12, but there's more than that. Hang on, let's have to load. There we go. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hang on. That's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Like I said, I have 17 different designs, although some of them aren't showing up properly. Although it is kind of nice because I can actually see now the ones that have actually sold on here because that's finally updated better. But 2 of these, are they showing up on my site? Now I gotta look. I gotta double check on this. There you go, view store. Because now I gotta look on my own website to see all that different stuff. Hey, I can't wait till you're rocking my swag too. I wish I had my own swag. So you might be the very first one to be rocking my swag. You know, which would be so cool, honestly, to see out wild. And why is this not loading? Computer. Hey, computer. The computer's not loading. It's being a pile of poo. So, but the other one doesn't. Oh, that's interesting. But I don't honestly get parts from Canadian Tire because they don't have parts for my vehicle, so there's that. Like, the only thing I'll get from like Canadian Tire is like wipers, maybe. And even then, I just go with Rock Auto anyways. Because Rock Auto delivers to my door and it's cheaper. So that's a win. Like, I just do either, well, Rock Auto or Amazon. You know, because oddly enough, if you put in the parts on Amazon, you can typically, not always, but you can typically find the parts you're looking for. And it's way cheaper. Way cheaper. Hey, that'll be cool. Like, honestly, I can't wait to see that. Like, honestly, it'll be so dang cool to see my stickers in the wild. Because here's the thing. In the wild, I don't even know which of my stickers actually work. Because, like, I gave away some stickers in the past. But, yeah. And, hey, Rascal! Rascal, come here! Rascal, come here! Come here, kitten! Hi, buddy! Hi, buddy! And you had a Capri like mine? Well, actually, what's funny is that my car is not actually a Capri. It's a Mustang with a Capri front clip on it currently. It's a notchback. 81 Mustang. Okay, why on earth is the laptop not loading my site? That's so weird. Okay, now it's loaded. It'll load now. Well, there you go. So, okay, that one's up. Okay, all of those are up. That one's up. Okay, so is it the past 2 that aren't up? Then? Sorry, I was just trying to figure it out. And hey, no worries. Have a good sleep, Amanda, and we'll chat at you later. So you want a Ferrari 308 and a 550 Maranello. Oh, good choice. Me personally, I would never own any Ferrari whatsoever. Reason being is, I hate how they run their company. Hi, buddy. Okay, is my website a little like laggy or glitchy or something? Because it's not working on my on here for some reason. Yeah, nothing is loading on the laptop for some reason. Strange. But yeah, because I wanted to check. I always want to make sure that my website's working properly. Because now I guess I can just open it through here and go to my channel and then go to posts. Yeah, because I didn't see that one, and I didn't see that one either. My what? It's a green screen, dude. Okay, so that's what shows up immediately. Okay, so it's working on my phone, kind of. It seems like the website's kind of glitchy. Okay, so it doesn't have my last two that I've uploaded yet. Huh, interesting. Okay. I mean, I Ferrari gets very upsetty spaghetti when you modify their stuff. They really do. Like, that's one of the things I hate about the company. Is that they will, like, because they reserve the right for that, which, like, I don't even understand it. Like, if you modify their vehicle and they don't like what you've done to it, they can throw you a cease and desist, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And it's the dumbest thing, honestly. But because even like Donut Media, they did a video. I remember this. This was a couple years ago. They did a video on YouTube, and what they actually talked about, or what they did, the whole video was about getting a cease and desist letter from Ferrari. So they posted this video to try and get one, right? And they were just doing a lot of dumb shit to their Ferrari that they had. Hey, Rascal! Rascal! Hi, kitten. You want to come back? Hey, Rascal. Okay, you're above my head now. Hi. Ow. There you go. Put you underneath the blankie, because you love hanging out underneath the blankie. Yeah, you do. There you go. And yes, I called my cat. I've kind of trained him to do that. Or, I mean, I didn't actually train him, to be fair. I just started whistling randomly one day, and then all of a sudden my cat came up to me and started purring. I'm like, so cool! I can call my cat by whistling. Nice. Hi, Joe. How goes it? But then also, actually, something. The only problem is I don't have an OBD2 vehicle, as you can clearly see. I have something to review actually for the channel, and it'll make more appearances on the channel as well because it's going to be a channel sponsor. Actually, and because what I have is a you know those OBD2 tablets that you can like scan and it'll tell you a bunch of shit that's wrong with your vehicle? Yeah, I got one of those. So now all I've got to do is well, I gotta find an OBD2 vehicle that, you know, has an engine light on, which oddly enough my dad's truck actually does. And I can show all of its features. And what's cool, it has a lot of stuff you can do with it. Because I was playing around with it last night, and you can actually use it for like you can test modules in the vehicle, which is kind of neat. So as an example, my dad's rear defrost doesn't work, and I think that's one of the modules I can actually test with it. I can test ABS systems, and I can test stereos and all that different stuff. It's really neat. So it's one of those like professional style tablets. The only difference is it's not like a snap-on or anything like that. So, but I can't wait, you know, to be able to use it. And then what's cool is like when my buddy asked me, "Hey, can you check out this vehicle at the auction for him?" Because he always has me check out stuff at the auction. I'll bring that along, and I will, you know, use it to show stuff off. So yeah, and I am pretty good. The prices are going okay. I've kind of stalled out on the truck for now, but you know, and ow. And yeah, but you know, I will continue to work on the truck. You know, I've just been taking some time off from posting too much on social media for a bit, but yeah. And what's up? You're an OG Mustang guy from Calgary, and you enjoy the content. Hey, thanks, Joe. You know, and there's not much going on. Like, you know, I appreciate you liking the content and stuff like that, and I wish I could have posted more content this month, but just haven't. You know, but that's okay. What Mustang do you drive there, Mr. Joe? Because now I'm curious. Now, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but my kitten is purring. Hey, buddy? Out. And why do you have this big-ass scab right here, dude? What were you doing? Silly boy. Because, yeah, what Mustang do you have? Because maybe I've seen it around. Or maybe not. Like, to be fair, I haven't, like, been to a lot of the Calgary Mustang / Ford shows, but you never know. Because normally I'm up in Edmonton, as I'm sure you're aware. But yeah. Hi, kitten. Oh, got a very happy kitty. He's just underneath the blankie, so he's just happy and content as can be. Wait, what? Wait, Spank, I'm really confused because you keep talking about nitromethane and using that to bump up power with a 5.3, like very which is like, I mean, sounds cool and everything, but I know you can't run straight nitromethane on a stock 5.3. Like, it's not going to hold up. You'd melt your pistons so fast doing that. So I'm very confused by that. Unless you have, like, modified pistons and stuff. And, like, because even, like, your cylinder walls and that, I don't think would hold up to nitromethane either. Like, because proper nitromethane is pretty intense shit, honestly. And it burns extremely hot. And you have a 79 5-liter notchback and an 83 convertible? Oh, cool, cool. So you're not only a Mustang guy, but you're a Fox body person, too. Nice, nice. They're in a bone stock 5.3, and how long did it last? Because, like, just because he can do it doesn't mean it's going to last that long, though. Like, because, like, I'm sure he did it for, like, one video, and then hasn't really done much with it since, I'm assuming. Because, again, nitromethane is just, like I said, insane to try and work with. There's a reason why that, you know, the nitromethane drag cars, you know, like the rails and stuff, that they rebuild their motor after every pass because they melt their pistons all the time. Now, granted, that's like 10,000 horsepower doing that, but yeah. It's still one of those things, right? Like, where, like, stock pistons usually don't hold up to that. Yeah, but again, how long is it gonna last, though? That's what I'm getting at. Like, it's not gonna last that long. Sure, you can make that and probably get a few passes out of it on the drag strip, but it's probably gonna melt those pistons within not a long order. You know, because, like, that's the thing. Like, you need very specialized pistons to run nitromethane. And then the rest of the internals, again, because it just burns so goddamn hot. Like I was mentioning. I didn't say it wasn't stable. I said it burns at a ridiculously high temperature. That's what I said, but clearly you're not listening to me. Like, again, it's the heat. I'm not saying it's not stable. Like, nitromethane is fine on its own. It's whatever. It's no more volatile than, you know, gasoline. But yeah, yes, I do know you have to run it at a higher flow rate, yes. But also at the same time, like, how would they be compensating properly for the heat? Because, like I said, I know nitromethane burns at a ridiculously hot, and that's why it melts pistons and melts valves and does all that other stuff. Considering, like, a lot of pistons are aluminum, right? And so aluminum melts at a very low temperature comparatively to, say, steel, right? Like, now it depends on the engine, though, to be fair. Yeah, I mean, that I guess that'd be the only way how you could potentially run it, is with, like, fuck all for timing, right? But yeah, like, that's one of these things that, like, I don't really want to play with, you know, nitromethane myself and, like, nitrous, because I don't like, because the one thing I don't like about nitrous is if you don't have your bottle pressure right, and which, you know, trying to get your bottle pressure like 100% for a street car is quite difficult, right? You can have issues with it either dumping too much fuel or not putting enough fuel into it And I don't really want to do that. No. I'm not going to run E85 with a... Like, E85, I hate the idea of E85 because for your fuel system. Like, case in point, remember gave me, like, it broke down on me about a month ago on the side of the highway? And what actually happened with that was that, so I got, the fuel line got airlocked, which was a very odd thing to actually. So I had fuel in the lines, but it would not push through the push up to the carburetor, right? It was stuck on the side of the highway to just pop off the fuel line to get the air out. It would have been fine, but I didn't think about it, right? So, anyways, I have a clear fuel filter in my truck. I can see, the fuel running through it. And the thing is, there was fuel in there. When I broke down on the side of the road, and when I got home, it was still there. 2 days later, that fuel was completely gone from in the line. Completely. Because ethanol fuel just evaporates. Like, that's why I fucking hate ethanol in fuel. I despise it. And also, not only that, but how often I actually have to clean out my carburetors because of ethanol is stupid. Like, Stitch, I clean out the carb about once a year because of ethanol. And yet I drive Stitch all the time. So, yeah, it can do a number on everything inside. Now, the thing is, like, E85, I don't see a purpose to running E85 at all, unless if you are running boost. And beyond that, E85 is kind of pointless, to be honest. Like, you can run it, sure. You can run more timing with it, sure. But in my setup with my car, E85 is doing nothing. I make 8.7 to 1 compression. I have a piss poor flowing intake on it. There's genuinely 0 point to run E85. Now, like, yes, 93 octane can actually make a little bit of a difference in the car. It's not a ton, but you do feel like a little bit of an acceleration difference, and it gains me maybe like 5 horsepower at most. Yeah, okay. Yeah, like you ran a 125 shot on a 96 Cutlass with a 3.1 V6, sprayed it at 155,000 miles, and transmission blew up at 182,000 miles. Ran almost every weekend for 9 months. Yeah, I mean, you could do that. Like, you can, but like I said, you were probably making sure that the bottle pressure was right every single time you were going to hit the nitrous. Because, again, with nitrous, you need to make sure the bottle pressure is right. But then, okay, that's how you were doing that, which works. It can, as long as your fuel pump can hold up to it. To spray that extra fuel into it that way and spray that much more. But, like, I have zero reason to run nitrous in my car. Like, zero. Like, I'm going to have an NA build, more than likely, because I probably won't be putting the turbo on my car. As much as I'd like to, it's not going to happen. Unfortunately. And the reason being is that I don't feel like trying to boost reference 3 carburetors. Like, that's just a nightmare waiting to happen. Okay, Rascal! Hey, buddy, you alright? Hey, Rascal. Hey, you okay, dude? You kind of stumbled there. silly boy, you know that? Hey, you're a silly boy. I will never do a 5-liter in Stitch. Like, that'll never happen. I have spent too much money to retain the straight 6. In case in point, I have a tri-power intake and head setup for Stitch. I like, I've talked about it on the channel before too, multiple times. And what I say every time is like, I like the unique factor of the straight 6. Yeah, it doesn't make as much power as a 5-liter, but I've also weighed out the pros and cons of a 5-liter versus keeping the straight 6. And the thing is, so for me to put in a 302 into my car would cost me right around $2,000. To be honest, that's if I had to buy every single part without like getting sponsorships or anything like that on this stuff. But and that's also with only getting a that's a low compression 302 with like a 2-barrel on it for that sort of price with everything that I'd need to do. And to me, so even though yes, that motor has a higher potential to a certain degree, but how expensive it actually is to build a 302? Because people say, "Oh, it's so cheap, it's so cheap." To make 350 horsepower, you're spending like $5,000 on it, and it's like, see, I could spend that much on my engine and make that kind of power, because that would get me forged pistons, and that would afford me the fuel system, and that would afford me a camshaft and the full turbo setup for my car, and I could make that kind of power easily. Spec, I have 355s in Stitch. I don't need anything lower than that. I really don't. 355s are a perfect ratio for me. Plus, also, I don't want to like be swapping ratios at the track and then that sort of thing. I don't, because I drive my car to the track. I don't, I don't tow it there. Like, yeah, I don't get me wrong, I could tow it there. Especially with my truck, I just need to get my my hitch installed, and then I'd need to actually have a trailer for myself. But I could do it. But yeah, like I said, like Spank, I've got 355s. 355s are a perfect ratio for me. And like, yeah, and you're a B303 cam, yeah, which is a good cam, honestly. They're fantastic. Nice roller cam that sounds fantastic and has good duration and stuff like that. Like, that's a great cam, honestly. People like laugh at the letter cams. I'm like, why? Unless if you're gonna be running like 500 horsepower, you don't need anything other than a letter cam, to be honest. Like, you just don't. And see, like in yeah, because in Stitch, it's just such a fun, car, and how light it is. Like, and that's one thing I like about it. Now, what's kind of interesting though, because I talked about this a little bit earlier in the stream, but I am potentially, I don't know if it's actually going to work out, but if it does, it'd be really cool. I might get my hands on a T56 manual transmission set up for a small block Ford. Now, here's the thing. There's 2 ways I could maybe get it into Stitch, because I'd want to put it in the Stitch, but if it, for some reason, I just can't get it to work, it'd go in the truck instead. Which would be kind of funny to have a T56 in my truck and it's never going to race ever in its life. But the thing is, like, for the T56 to go into Stitch, T56s have an integral bell housing on them, right? And so with that integral bell housing, you can't, like, I can't really adapt it properly to my straight 6. So I have 2 options. Either I find somebody out there that will adapt my bell housing to it, and like, because there'd be some cutting and welding going on to do it. Which, who knows? That might happen, but I highly doubt it. Either that, or I find a low mount starter 200 inline 6. Which, if I did that, that'd be fantastic, honestly. Like, I'd have no quandaries about that, and then I could put the TV6 behind it, and all I need to do is get a 157 tooth flywheel with the zero balance. So I just need to knock the weights off of it. And then I need, obviously, I think I need a 12-inch clutch. That's what I need. I can't remember what the Fox Buddies run for clutch sizes, but I think it's a 10. Or, sorry, 12-inch. I need a different starter. So I'd have to spend, about $600 to then plus whatever the... Actually, I should look that up. What does... So let's go into this. There we go. See, the only problem is the hydraulic clutch conversion for a Fox body is actually kind of pricey. Like there is like $800. That's before shipping. So what I'd like to be able to do, I don't know if I'd be able to do it, but I prefer not to run a hydraulic sort of setup in it. I'd love to be able to run a cable, genuinely. I just don't think I could do that. But maybe I could. It's just hard to say. So, I don't know. We'll see, to be honest. And I'm not going to do tractor pulls with my truck, no. Again, if I turbo the truck, that is more so for fuel economy more than anything else. Like, it sounds funny, but it's true. There we go. So, I don't know why that some of my designs are not up on the website. Alright. Alright. Yeah, because again, where is that one? Like, I just put it up tonight, so... I gotta look as to why that is not working. And these are both my vehicles. Yes, Chris. This is my 81 Mustang with an 84 Capri front end on it, and my 76 F250. I mean, you can find T5s, and oddly enough, I've actually found a few T5s on Marketplace and stuff, but, it just depends on the style of T5 you want, though. Like, I'm assuming you want it for, like, a non-electronic one, which can be a little tougher, but I got mine a few years ago for only $300. It was actually a really good deal. But yeah, we shall see. And because kind of the funny thing is, because like I said, I have to talk to my buddy Keith and see if he'd be willing to, like, if I get this TVD6, I'd have to talk to him to see if he'd get rid of that low mount starter 200, and I just give him my 200 that's in the stitch. And like, because he knows that that's a good motor. Like, there's nothing wrong with that engine. It'll last him for a long time, and whatever else. And then I'd get his low mount starter one and go from there. With it, and then put a TD6 in my car. That'd be freaking cool. Really cool. But yeah, and you know, because like Stitch obviously was born with a C4 automatic, right? And like you just gotta pay attention to marketplace and see, you know, when they pop up. Because I found a couple, and there was actually one that was pretty cheap not terribly long ago. And even like there was one that there was a 200 inline 6 that came with it. That was sold at an auction in Vulcan not terribly long ago. This was last week. And the thing is with that, it sold with the T5 for, I think it was like $540. Because let's see what I can find on Marketplace. There's a T5 out in Didsbury, actually. So I just found this T5. I think that actually is a Fox body T5. No, never mind. That is not a Fox body T5. Let's take a look. Because the problem is that was not a Fox body T5. That was a Chevrolet T5. Because, like, and oddly enough, it depends also on the T5 you want. Because, like, there is one here. This is a world class out of a 4-liter S197. Which I don't know how different these are comparatively to, like, the regular Fox body ones. But this one's $400. And it's in Calgary, too. Yeah, because like I don't know what changed with the T5s. And they made the T5 longer than that. They made the T5 from 83 to 2011 actually. In Fords. But yeah. And now, because here's the thing, like, unless if you're an EFI one, because again, why are all these Chevy T5s? I'm just finding all the Chevy T5s. And, well, Stitch, and actually, here's another T5. Again, out of a freaking Chevy. Why is it all the Chevy ones that I'm finding right now? They're a little stronger. They're not much. Like, here's the thing. So the world class is technically a bit stronger than a non-world class. Yes. The input shaft is the same. It's just the gears are a little bit stronger. But honestly, the weak point in T5s is not really the gears. It's the case itself. The case only holds like 380 foot-pounds of so. It's not great. If you get an uprated case on a T5, you're golden, honestly. And to be honest, so Stitch, well, I can tell you, Spank. So, when I put the 355s in Stitch with the 8.8 rear end with the automatic, because that's the only thing I have to compare it to be honest. So it had most of the upgrades, just didn't have the T5 yet. I didn't have some of the other little things. But regardless, I think, if I remember correctly, I went from a 21 second 0 to 60 down to, I think, a 17. And then with the T5, I went all the way to a 13.32. So that was the difference, right? That was just 0 to 60. Went from 17 seconds 0 to 60 to 13.32 in stitch. And with any luck, I am hoping, anyways, when I throw the new head on the car, I'm hoping I can get that down to about the 10-second range for 0 to 60 time. Hoping. But we'll see. Because I anticipate it's going to add in the neighborhood of about 30 to 40 wheel horsepower with the new head. It might not be quite that much, but I'm hoping it is. Because with the tri-power setup on it, with better compression and stuff, you know, it might. So I don't know. We'll kind of see, I suppose. But the one thing I just noticed, it's freaking 3 a.m. So even though it's been a fantastic chat and whatever else, I should probably try and get to bed because, like I said, it's very late. But I appreciate you all hopping in to the live. It was a good live stream overall. You know, not too many trolls. There was a couple earlier, but not too bad. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Have a good rest of your night. And I hope to be live again soon. Who knows? Maybe I'll go live again tomorrow. It's hard to say. Anyways, take care, everybody.